Other studios across the state, local newspapers, daily newspapers that helped us in this effort. In particular, Miss June Guyman, who traveled some 42,000 miles across the Commonwealth of Kentucky with me, filming these historic tapes. Now we'd like for you to enjoy the history of Kentucky, county by county, as we enjoyed making the history come true for you. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place to work and play. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place I want to stay. Its far north gate and southern trails came Walker Boone and Kenton too. Kentucky, she is calling, a place of history. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place to work and play. Oh, Kentucky, Kentucky County, a place I want to stay. Bardstown, the county seat of Nelson County. Nelson County population, 29,348. Area square miles, 424. Rank, 27th. Nelson County is located in the 2nd Congressional District.
To my right, we have the local historian, Dixie Hibbs, who has been graciously volunteered to answer a few questions for us. Dixie, what can you tell us about the formation of the county?
All right, Nelson County was formed out of Jefferson in 1784. Actually began the 1st of 1785. It was named after Thomas Nelson, governor of Virginia. Of course, we were still Virginia at that time. We would not be Kentucky till 1792. But after 92, we would have over 16 counties to be formed out of the original Nelson. Nelson was everything south of the Salt River of Jefferson County. Jefferson was one of the 3 formed in 1780. We are settled mostly with people from Northern Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland. Most of them came down the river on flatboat. They are, a lot of them have been here ever since. We don't move around too much. We let the world come to visit us instead of us moving on.
Okay. What can you tell us about this courthouse? It's a gorgeous structure.
Well, this courthouse was the result of a contest that was run in 1891. The county commissioners decided they wanted to build a new courthouse. So they ran an ad in the Courier-Journal. Architects submitted plans, and they chose this one. This was built by Mr. Lyons, a contractor out of Louisville. He was directed to tear the old courthouse down, which was stone, and went back to 1800, and to use all the stone in the courthouse in building this one. Well, you don't see much stone on this courthouse. It's all underground. So you go down in the basement, you can see some of the original 1800 stones. It cost about $29,000, and I think it's real interesting. In 1982, we built a brick sidewalk around it that cost $28,000. Courthouse now only houses the district court, the circuit clerk, the county judge, the sheriff's department. Our county clerk and some of the other county offices are in a courthouse annex because we outgrew that site. As big as it looked in 1892, it certainly wasn't big enough in 1982.
For some people who may not know, can you give us a little background on some historical figures from your area?
Okay, well, let's talk about Bardstown in general. Bardstown, county seat of Nelson County, was settled in 1780 when we were still part of Jefferson County. It's named for the Bard family. William Bard was an agent of his brother here in Kentucky, and he stood on the banks of the Falls of the Ohio and welcomed everybody coming down the river, saying, "I've got a deal you can't turn down, and I'll let you use this land free until the war's over, and then you pay me rent every month." So this didn't exactly happen. They came and cleared the land, built their houses, and then they used it. Bard kind of wandered off, and then when he came back, the town was fairly well developed, and the town trustees had been selling lots, so he kind of stepped back and watched it grow. We have federal and Georgian architecture here. We have a lot of houses still from the late 1790s, early 1800 period. We have 299 buildings on the National Register of Historic Places here. Tourism is our #1 industry, which is not to say that we don't have other industries we're just as proud of, but tourism is one that we are cultivating and are very pleased with. We have My Old Kentucky Home, which the song that Stephen Foster wrote, which is now our state song. This was the inspiration for that. It is a federal mansion sitting on the hill outside of Bardstown Plantation. John Rowan, the owner, builder, was a lawyer and politician, so we've always been connected with Kentucky politics. We have other things here. The first cathedral west of the Allegheny, St. Joseph Cathedral. It's a Catholic cathedral built by Benedict Joseph Flagey, the first bishop. This was constructed in 1816. We have old buildings that people like to visit that now house restaurants and shops and things of this sort, as well as just the atmosphere. We have a very historic town that people like to walk around the streets. We were chosen as one of the 10 nicest places to visit and to live, actually, in the United States by U.S. News and World Report in 1983. So we kind of took a second look at ourselves and said, yes, they're right. This is a very nice place to live, and we have good schools. I would say good weather, but today isn't a good day to say good weather. The sun shines bright most of the time unless it rains, and then it's liquid sunshine is what we have here in Bardstown today. The other thing about Bardstown I always like to tell, it's a very cooperative community that has a lot of pride in itself, takes care of itself. We are always looking down the future. We say we are a progressive community that looks forward in progress but looks back in preservation. So we believe in preserving our past while working toward our future.
Great. Thank you.